Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. So I have decided, I guess it was last week, maybe. Yeah, so I think it was February 13th, if I'm not mistaken. I signed up for a Run Disney race in Disneyland. So for a little context, I have never been an outdoor runner ever. I've only done elliptical running, and it's been years since I've done that consistently. So I decided that this was the year. There's a new Halloween race at Disneyland that I was just so excited when they announced it. Unfortunately, we don't live in Disneyland anymore. So, well, we never lived in Disneyland, but right. So it's so funny because Adrian's like, well, why don't you just do one of the ones that's here? And I'm like, this is about the themes. So, if you don't know this about me, Halloween is my holiday. It just, I mean, like, keep your Christmas. Like, I'm a huge Halloween fan, and I love nothing more than Disneyland at Halloween. So I'm really excited about this. I think it might be a midlife crisis. This is the year I'm turning 40. So I was like, I really would love to do one of these Run Disney races. And the two that caught my eye were the 10k, which is Haunted Mansion themed, and the half, which is Hocus Pocus themed. So initially I had set out to maybe do the challenge. But after me and Adrian talked about it, like, he's so supportive, but I do also want to enjoy my time at Disneyland. So he was like, you've got to pick one or the other. And I'm like, okay, I can't do both. So I did decide Haunted Mansion so it is the 10k that I'm going to start training for. I decided that Haunted Mansion was the one because, I mean, the ride is near and dear to my heart for so many reasons. But if you don't know this about us, Adrian actually proposed on the Haunted Mansion in April of 2017. So it's got an even more special place in my heart, especially at Disneyland. So all that's to say, where am I today? I am at Fleet Feet. It's in Soto. So it's like downtown Orlando. And I need to get fitted for some running shoes. I have been having a lot of problems with my feet for a couple of weeks now. I have had plantar fasciitis historically. It's been a few years that it's flared, but it's here. And of course it's here when I've decided that I'm going to start training for a race. So, I've decided that I was going to come and get fitted. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show like what that process looks like. But I thought I would at least like show you the Fleet Feet, show you if I pick out some shoes, definitely talk to you about my experience. Once I get all fitted and ready for that. I don't know if I'm buying shoes today or not. I have no idea. So I've never done this before, and I definitely need some help and guidance because, oh my gosh, guys, this plantar fasciitis flare right now is next level. So before I even tried to sign up for the Run Disney race on February 13th, I had already started at least trying, dipping my toe into trying to run outdoors. I successfully did an hour outside with 10 minutes of running, interval running, whatever it is. So I think it was basically I'd run for a minute and then I'd walk for 4, then I'd run for a minute and I'd walk for 4. So not great. So that's how I'm going to train. But, I did that a couple of weeks ago and it hurt a little, but The week following that, like, initial, like, I've never run outside and I finally did for the very first time, it became unbearable. So I've been doing all sorts of things for my plantar fasciitis. I bought all sorts of stuff, like socks and I think it's called UFUs. They're like recovery shoes. They're flip-flops. They kind of look and feel like a Croc. They have been very helpful, as have my actual Crocs been very helpful around the house. So I'm really hoping that they can help like fit me, and let's see if I've just been, am I in the wrong shoes? I'm sure I'm in the wrong shoes, but I'm hoping that they can help, because like my knees also started to hurt. It's just, I'm a disaster, and I cannot be a disaster because I want to run this race and I want to do well. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I'm doing today. So I'll do my best and show you what's going on, and I'll see you in a bit. So part of the reason that I decided to go to Fleet Feet was because they did this thing that's called Fit ID. And they like take a scan of your foot, and they have you also like walk across a pad. Like you kind of walk back and forth a few times across this. I mean, it looks kind of like a bathroom mat. So let me show you the results of my foot scan. It's kind of neat. So let's start at like my foot. Here's the 3D image that they took of my foot, which is kind of neat. You can kind of, I mean, it's also a little creepy, but so that's my foot, or my feet. So you stand on this like pad for, I don't know, I don't think it was even a full minute, and it just does like a 3D image of your foot. Again, of your feet. So, the results. It's funny, he had asked me what size I thought I was, and I was like, oh, I'm between a 7.5 and an 8.5, depending on the brand. So he was like, yep, that's about right. So as you can see, I'm also surprised that my feet are like pretty symmetrical, like they're 8 and 8, because you know, sometimes or at least I've always heard that one of your feet is normally bigger than the other. And I always thought it was your dominant one, but doesn't look like that's true. So you can see here it says like heel to toe length is an 8 and an 8. My ball width does differ from, you know, left to right, but not by much. It doesn't look like. My arch height is significantly different from one foot to the next. My instep height is also different, but still medium. My heel width is wide on both right and left, but my right is wider. And then the ball girth is a medium, left and right, and the instep girth, which is kind of funny, my right is small, my left is medium, my heel to toe length is medium, about right the same. So, and then my ball width is narrow on the right, but medium on the left. The thing it was nice to just know is that I do not have that, like, this ball width is, I'm pretty sure that's what determines, like, if you have wide feet, and it's clear I don't. So I never really thought I did, but you never know. So I kind of got that answer. And then you can go to dynamic, and you can actually see when I walked across that, like, mat, this is what, like, this is how it's depicted. It's real neat. So my pressure distribution on the left foot is centered, and on the right is more lateral, and this may be, we were talking about it, this may be because I'm overcompensating right now because of my plantar fasciitis, because it's my left foot that's hurt. So I'm walking and or running on my right foot a little differently because my left hurts so bad. And then this arch flexibility is, for both left and right, is rigid. So let me show you this. Let's go back a few, and that's the image of me walking across that mat or pad. So this was just some really cool, I really like data. So this is kind of a really cool thing to do, to see how they help fit you in whatever shoes you may choose. Hey guys, so I'm going to show you the shoes that I ended up getting based on all of that data that Fit ID gathered from my foot. My experience at the Fleet Feet in Soda, Orlando was fantastic. Honestly, I don't know who my salesperson was. I should see, I think I've got the receipt somewhere. I think his name is Anthony. So, after I did all of that, like Fit ID, which really only took a couple of minutes, we started trying on shoes, and it was more about the way they felt, and less about like, oh, because of your Fit ID, you have to wear these shoes. He initially asked me if I had any brands in mind, and I didn't really. I mean, sure, I've been reading about great running shoes. I've seen all sorts of opinions, but I really didn't want to go in there with like, oh, these are the ones I want, because what I want is something that's gonna help me run with this plantar fasciitis. So I think we tried on Brooks to begin with, which I did like. I don't remember what that style was that he initially put me in, but then we also tried some New Balance and some, I think it's Asics, and Asics is actually what I ended up with. So I ended up getting they're the Gel Nimbus 26, and let me show you what they look like. So they're pretty, I mean, they're cute, but like, that's kind of not the point. Like, these are my Gel Nimbus 26. They also fitted me for an insert. So this insert is actually, I wonder if I can pull it out. I mean, I should be able to, right? Like, you know what? I'm not gonna though. They're in there nice and snug. Let me at least tell you, it was the Superfeet Run Support Arch is what I ended up getting fitted with. So the arch height is high, the insole thickness is max. And the reason he told me that we did this, because we did try a couple of different inserts at like different levels of arch support and thickness, because I didn't feel a huge difference between all of them, he said to go with the max. So that's what we ended up doing. Clearly you can take those insoles out of a pair of shoes and put them in another pair of shoes, but I think they're gonna live in these Asics as I'm training. So I also wanted to at least give you an idea of a couple of the other things that I've been doing for the sake of my plantar fasciitis. So one of the recommendations while I was at Fleet Feet was to buy socks that are not cotton. I also have a coworker that's very well versed in, she's done several runs, 5K, 10K, halves, marathons. And she also suggested the same. She had a few brands of socks to get, so I ended up getting some Features Elite. And then I got some Smart Wool run socks. And then I also bought a pair of the Features plantar fasciitis relief. So we're gonna see. I hope that some of this, you know, some of it's about just like being comfortable running, like in those Smart Wool or the Features Elite. The others are like, I'm trying to solve a problem. My plantar fasciitis is still really angry. I still am having a very hard time actually getting real training off the ground. I'm having a rough time. So I also, something that since I've had plantar fasciitis in the past, I've had a couple of things that I used to use that sometimes helped. My sister actually sent me this, like, it's a ball that you rub it on your foot, like the one that hurts, but you should probably do it on both sides, right? And it's called Rubz. It's RUBZ. I know that this has worked for me in the past. The type of plantar fasciitis, or like the pain where it's located right now, is making this, this isn't quite hitting it or helping me. Like, I mean, it might be helping, but it's not quite targeting the pain that I have. So I bought a couple of other things. I bought this, it's called a Tumaz, and it's bigger. So like, instead of it just being that like ball, you like rub your foot on it, and it's supposed to stretch out the muscle, or is that muscle or tendon, whatever it is. And if you look at it like closely, it's got like these nubs, it's like diamonds kind of, that really help when you're like just rolling it on the floor, between your foot and the floor. This has been helping, I think, a lot. I also got some Tiger Balm, which is, you know, kind of like a Bengay for my foot. And what was the other thing? Oh, I've also been doing the like frozen water bottle. And I think part of the relief with that is that it kind of like also freezes your foot. So that also has been helping. So here's just a couple of things that have been helping relieve some of that pain. It's still not, again, it's still here. I know that this takes time, but I'm really trying to hit it with everything I've got. Oh, and my last thing that I did buy, let me take them off, and hopefully they're not going to be messy from walking around the house. I might say this wrong, but I bought some UFUs. So that's what these are. They're basically recovery shoes or recovery flip-flops. So I've really stopped wearing anything that doesn't have support. Like, I think I had mentioned in the intro that I've been using my UFUs, which is what these are again. They feel kind of like Crocs. Like, they're lightweight, they're very helpful, I've got to say. I've also been using my Crocs, which I've got a million pairs of Crocs that I've always used to take Molly outside or whatever, you know, and those have been helpful as well. So these are just a couple of the things that I'm doing to try to prepare for this Run Disney race. As time goes on, I'll probably talk about the things that have been working and haven't, but to be fair, I've used all of these things thus far, except for the shoes and the socks. And I can say that so far I am feeling relief. So some of these things are helping. And if you're also having a hard time with plantar fasciitis, maybe look into some of this. If you haven't already, try it, see if any of this will work for you too, because obviously everybody's different, but I've got to say, you know, like, when something really hurts, I am very motivated to get it to stop hurting. So I've bought all the things, and I'm sure there's more. You know, the last thing that I haven't said, I have been stretching it. So there's tons of stretches. I watch YouTube, and I'm watching lots of people and what they're doing to like stretch out your hurt foot. And I think that's probably helping as well. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. It's kind of a hodgepodge. I don't think there's one silver bullet that's gonna like fix this right now, but all of it's incrementally improving, and I'm really hoping that I can get some miles on these shoes soon. And I think I'm gonna also start strength training. So I just thought it would be fun to give you an idea of what I'm doing. This kind of turned into not just, you know, like, come with me to Fleet Feet, because I really didn't show you that. Fleet Feet, my intro was filmed in like the parking garage of where Fleet Feet is located. And my intent was to take you into the store. There was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 salespeople and just me at the beginning. So I felt a little uncomfortable, and I didn't really want to be like, hey, can I film this whole experience? So I apologize. That's why I really didn't show you any of that. But I thought I could at least give you an idea of what my experience was like. It was fantastic. I would highly recommend it. I would absolutely go back there. I know as I start this journey, if I really enjoy it, I'm gonna need more than one pair of running shoes. So I'll definitely be back. I think it's a great place with a great selection and very knowledgeable people that were incredibly helpful. So that was my experience with Fleet Feet. And oh yeah, like I said, it kind of turned into what else? Also, what am I doing for my plantar fasciitis? So I hope any of this, if you're also struggling with some of these things or not some of these things, but just plantar fasciitis, I hope some of this is helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything that I can. And I really can't wait to get started on this training. So stay tuned. You're gonna hear more from me. If you've made it this far, please like, comment, share, do all the things that we always ask you to do. I really love engaging with everybody. So I'd love to talk to you if you want to comment. And as Adrienne says, have fun storm the castle and stay magical.